I paid for my MIL's 50th birthday party while her children did nothing. However, let me start by saying this: I didn't plan to throw my mother-in-law a birthday party. It was her kids' job. She's got 4 of them, my husband included, and I assumed, reasonably, that they'd band together and do something special for her big 5-0. Instead? Crickets. 3 weeks before her birthday, I casually asked what the plan was. My sister-in-law said, "Oh, I think Mom just wants something low-key." My brother-in-law shrugged and said, "We'll probably just stop by her house or something." Stop by? For her 50th? Now listen, I'm not even particularly close with my MIL. But she's been kind to me. Babysat our dog when we went on vacation. Sent me a handwritten card after my last promotion. She's never overstepped or meddled like the usual horror stories. So yeah, I felt like she deserved more than a casual drop-in with a grocery store cake. So I stepped up. Booked a venue, small, but cute. Hired a caterer with her favorite Mediterranean food. Made a slideshow of family photos. Put together a playlist of her favorite old-school hits. Even designed and sent out digital invitations to everyone she loved, including her 4 kids. And when I asked her children if they wanted to chip in, all of them passed. I'm a little tight on cash right now. We're still recovering from the holidays. Things are hectic at work. Even my own husband, who I adore, said, "Babe, you're doing amazing with this, I'll owe you." So I paid for everything. Every single thing. The party was beautiful. She cried when she walked in. Told me it was the nicest thing anyone had done for her in years. Her friends were buzzing about it all night. Even the awkward cousin who never talks told me, "Wow, you went all out." The kids? They showed up late. Brought nothing. Didn't even help clean up. But the real kicker? That came 2 days later when I saw the pictures. I was scrolling Instagram during lunch, sipping on microwave leftovers, when I saw it. A full album posted by my sister-in-law, titled "Best Weekend Ever." 2 hearts. And the photos? A 3-day spa getaway. Massages. Wine tasting. Luxury robes. Champagne brunches. All 4 siblings. Including my husband. They hadn't skipped the party because they were broke or busy. They had planned a trip together on the same weekend and just decided to let me handle Mom's milestone birthday while they got foot rubs and mimosas. And my husband? He hadn't said a word. I stared at the screen for a full minute, like maybe if I blinked hard enough the caption would change. It didn't. So I screenshot it, texted it to him, and asked, "So this is what you were doing while I threw a party for your mom by myself?" His reply? "I didn't think you'd find out like this." I sat on that text for an hour. My husband's pathetic "I didn't think you'd find out like this" message might as well have read, "Yeah, we ditched our mom's party and let you foot the bill, but hey, surprise is over." I didn't respond. Instead, I forwarded the Instagram album to my mother-in-law. No caption. No explanation. Just a message that read, "Thought you should see this." She read it instantly. Didn't reply. 15 minutes later, she called me. Now, I expected tears. Or anger. Or that passive-aggressive "I guess I know where I stand with my kids" tone that parents love to use when they're disappointed. But what I got? Laughter. Not polite giggles. Not a chuckle. Full-blown, wheezing, "Oh my God, of course they did this" laughter. "I knew it," she said. "I knew something was off." I blinked. "Wait, you're not mad?" "Oh, sweetie," she said, "I stopped expecting anything from them a long time ago. That's why the party meant so much to me. Because I knew it wasn't their idea. It couldn't have been." She paused, then added something I'll never forget. "I raised 4 kids, but only one person in this family acted like mine that night, and it wasn't any of them." That hit me right in the chest. I was still processing it when she said, "Come over tomorrow. I want to talk to you. Alone." So I did. When I got there, she had coffee waiting. Told me to sit. And then she handed me an envelope. Inside was a check. A big check. I nearly choked. "What is this?" "My party fund," she said. "I've been saving for a while. I knew no one would throw anything. I was going to use it to take myself on a cruise or something, but I think you earned it more." I told her I didn't want her money. She insisted. "Don't think of it as payment," she said. "Think of it as a thank you for reminding me that not everyone I raised turned out selfish." We talked for hours. About her kids. About how she'd spent years making excuses for their laziness, their flakiness, their absence. About how she knew she'd been enabling them, but didn't know how to stop. "I'm tired," she said. "But you lit something under me. You made me realize I don't have to sit back and smile through it anymore. The next day? She posted a photo from the party. Just her and me, arm in arm, smiling like we hadn't been stabbed in the back by a shared set of last names. Caption? To the one person who showed up for me without being asked, thank you. You know who you are. Cue meltdown in the family group chat. My sister-in-law texted me within minutes. Did you tell Mom about our trip? I replied with a screenshot of her own Instagram post. Then I left the group chat. My husband? He came home that night with a bottle of wine and a sheepish look. Tried to spin it. We didn't plan to leave you with everything. It just sort of happened. You planned a vacation for her birthday weekend. He paused. Yeah, okay. That part looks bad. I asked him if he'd have told me the truth if I hadn't found the photos. He didn't answer. So I told him I needed space. Real space. Not just from him, but from all of it. Because I'd finally realized something. When people are comfortable letting you carry the weight alone, they'll never learn to stand on their own. After I told my husband I needed space, I didn't slam doors or scream or issue ultimatums. I just disengaged. I stopped cooking his meals. Stopped folding his laundry. Stopped being the built-in event planner, errand runner, therapist, and guilt sponge for the entire family. And just like that, he started noticing what my silence felt like. He asked if I was still mad. I told him I wasn't mad, I was done. Done pretending like what he and his siblings pulled was just a miscommunication. Done pretending like it didn't hurt that I, the in-law, was the only one who treated his mom like she mattered. Do you even get how humiliating it was? I said one night. Watching everyone assume you helped me when you were literally drinking wine in a robe 3 states away? He gave me the same wide-eyed, wounded look that had worked on his mom 1,000 times. It wasn't personal. But that's the thing. It was. Because when someone lets you carry the emotional, financial, and logistical weight without lifting a finger, it's personal. It means they've decided your comfort matters less than their convenience. I suggested couples counseling. He hesitated. Is it really that serious? Yes. It was. Because it wasn't just about the party anymore. It was about every single time I'd stepped up while he and his siblings stepped out. And I was exhausted from clapping with one hand for a family that never showed up. We did go to therapy. He showed up to 3 sessions, said all the right things, then skipped the 4th because work got busy. The 5th, he canceled outright. By the 6th, he asked if we could just talk at home instead. I moved into the guest room. That's when things got real. He started panicking, brought flowers, washed the dishes, told me he finally understood. I told him it wasn't about the chores. It was about trust. It was about being the person he could rely on, while never being the person he showed up for. And that's when he said the line I'd been waiting for. If you needed help, why didn't you just ask? God. That's when I knew we were done. Because if someone needs to be asked to do the bare minimum, they were never really in it with you. So I left, packed my things, took the check his mom gave me and used it as a down payment on a little apartment downtown. Nothing fancy, but it was mine. Quiet, clean, completely free of entitled siblings and emotional freeloaders. My MIL? She visits sometimes, brings snacks, checks in. She even helped me hang my curtains one afternoon and said, I don't blame you. I wish I had walked away from them years ago. We laugh more now than we ever did before. Because we're no longer tied to people who only show up when there's cake. And my ex? We finalized the divorce 6 months later. He tried to win me back right before the papers were signed, said he missed me, that he learned his lesson. I told him he learned it too late.